What's up guys, it's 5K Beats here. In this video I'm gonna show you 5 key aspects for making better melodies. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so number one key aspect for making better melodies is to use starters or loops. I know you don't want to use any starters or loops because you want to make everything from scratch, but trust me, if you use some sort of starters or loops at the beginning, your brain will learn over time what works and what doesn't. And over time you will be able to make better loops and melodies even from scratch. So first of all, use starters or loops. It's not cheating. All the artists at the end care about is the final product. So if the final product sounds good, you are doing your job great. Yeah, I also started off with a starter, and this starter from Shavi. And as you can see, the starter is in 182 BPM. I lowered it a bit because it was way too fast for me, and the key is C minor. Afterwards, let's go into the second key aspect for making better melodies, is to keep it simple but effective. So after I got the starter, I want to layer it with some sort of piano and afterwards switch the sound if I like. So after I use the starter, I want to figure out what chord progression fits the vibe the best. So I know some sort of chord progression like the 1-4 chord progression, the 1-5 chord progression, or even the 1-6-5 chord progression. So these are the ones that I know, and I want to know which one of these fits the vibe the best. So I experimented with the 1-5. Didn't work well. Now I'm on the 1-4. So what does that mean? So in general, you place your first note right here, and afterwards you go 4 semitones up or down as you want. Okay, in my case I went 4 semitones down, but afterwards I pitch everything up. This is what everything sounds like together. So this already sounds really good together. Now I want to thicken everything up, so I added more notes to it. So I duplicated the bass note right here. I pitched some other notes up and down, but this is the final result. Now we can hear that the sample has a lot more emotions to it, but it is a bit static for me. I want to give the sample a bit more movement, and the best way to keep it simple, just add more movement into the piano melody. So let's add more notes or different rhythms to it. And as you can see, I just added a bit more rhythm to the notes we already had and some sort of passing notes, and that's it. And now I could hear in the sample some sort of higher pitched note like duh, 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 some sort of accent, and I want to do that in the piano as well. And this already filled up the melody a lot. So after I got this one, I just want to add one more layer to it, and it's a pad, a simple pad like this. It's a pad from Analog Lab called Animals Summer. Great. So now we got this one right here. And as you can hear, the melody hasn't much going on. It's a simple core idea with some sort of layers, a piano and a pad and a vocal. That's it. So that's what I mean, but keep it simple, but what you do has to be effective or catchy. So after that, I would just add one more bell note just to give it a bit more accent. So now let's hop into our third key aspect for making this type of beats, is to add some sort of weird textures and ear candy. Let me show you what I mean. Afterwards, I reversed it to make it a bit more like a transition. And I use a second accent, which is the same thing afterwards. I made sure that everything is on key, and this is what we got now. And as you can hear, the accent or the texture really gives the sample a whole other dimension. It sounds way better, much more fulfilling. So now let's hop into the fourth aspect of making this type of melodies, is to use some sort of perk or drum loops. This will just ensure that your melody stands out from the crowd. This is just a loop that I found in a pack, but if you want to use your own, you can also make a drum loop, filter it, and then afterwards put it in the beginning. Great, so now that we got our core idea of the melody, what is the fifth thing? The fifth and last key aspect of making this type of beats is to just test your sample with a drum loop. If you're not sure if your samples are full enough, if it's empty, just test your samples with some sort of drum loops. You can do the drums if you want, but you can also just use a drum loop to make the process even faster. Just use a drum loop and see, and you will hear instantly what the sample needs. And I know that this already sounds a bit empty, but imagine now this with an 808 on top of it. The beat would sound really full. So that's what I mean. So the sample is good to go as it is right now. Even if you don't do the drums on your own afterwards, so someone will flip the sample and then add their own drums to it. But at least you know that your melody sounds full enough. So this is a cheat code that not many producers use. Just test your samples with a drum loop and you will instantly know what it needs. So yeah guys, this was the sample. I sent this one to a producer and he flipped it. I will gonna show you the final outcome now. If you got some sort of value from this video, please leave a comment, like, and even subscribe if you want. Follow me on Instagram to stay up to date with my life, my beats, and my work. If you wanna check out my beat, the link is in the description down below. There are free downloads available, and let's see each other in the next one, guys. Bye.